So, the Pixel 10 buzz? Yeah, it's already heating up, and we're still months away from an official reveal. But that hasn't stopped people from diving into rumors and leaks like it's a new season of their favorite show. After the Pixel 9 made some real noise, it's no surprise everyone's eager to see what Google's got lined up next. From what's floating around, Google seems to be sticking with its usual three-phone setup. The regular Pixel 10, a Pro version with a bit more flash, and the big-screen Pixel 10 Pro XL for those who want to go all out. No word yet on a new foldable. That's probably a convo for another day. Right now, it's all eyes on the flagships. Price-wise, we're still in the guesswork phase, but don't expect any wild surprises. It looks like Google's aiming to keep things steady. The base Pixel 10 will probably stick to the $799 range, and the Pixel 10 Pro should land around $999 just like last year. But the XL model? That one might bump things up a bit. Rumor has it, the 128GB version might be gone, with 256GB being the new starting point, which would push the base price to around $1,199. More storage is great and all, but yeah, you'll pay for it. Design-wise, remember that bold camera bar that used to run across the back of Pixel phones? Well, the Pixel 9 kind of ditched it for a more minimal look, which had people wondering if that iconic bar was gone for good. Turns out, it's not. Early renders suggest the whole Pixel 10 lineup will keep the bar, so if you're a fan of that signature style, it's sticking around for now. Display sizes? No major shakeups there. The Pixel 10 and Pro are both expected to rock 6.3-inch screens, while the XL will keep its 6.8-inch panel. But here's where things get interesting. The regular Pixel 10 might be stepping up its screen game by swapping in the same Super Actua display that's been exclusive to the Pro models. If that happens, we're talking better brightness, clearer visuals, and smoother scrolling thanks to an adaptive refresh rate that can hit up to 120 Hz. That's a serious upgrade. And speaking of upgrades, there's a juicy rumor that the base Pixel 10 might finally get a telephoto lens, something that's been reserved for the higher-end models. If that's true, the regular Pixel could end up with a triple camera setup, wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto. Of course, there might be a trade-off. The ultra-wide camera could see a downgrade from a 48-megapixel sensor to a 13-megapixel one. Still, having a telephoto lens on the standard model? That's a big win. As for the Pro and XL versions, it sounds like their camera hardware won't be changing much. That might feel a little underwhelming, but to be fair, the Pixel 9 Pro's camera system is already pretty solid. Sometimes, sticking with what works isn't the worst move. Now let's talk performance. The Pixel 9 lineup ran on Google's custom Tensor G4 chip, and the next generation, the Tensor G5, is expected to power the Pixel 10 series. The big story here is that Google might be shifting production from Samsung to TSMC. If true, that could mean better performance and efficiency, especially if they're using a 3-nanometer process. On the flip side, some leaks say the G5 might just be a slightly refined G4, just built by a different company. So, we might not see a massive leap. But either way, Google's focus has always been more about smart features and AI rather than just raw power. And speaking of AI, there's talk of a new feature called Pixel Sense. Not much detail yet, but it sounds like a more personalized assistant that learns from how you use your phone. If it delivers, it could be one of those small things that makes a big difference in everyday use. Battery life looks like it'll stay the same, with the Pixel 10 and Pro getting 4,700 mAh and the XL packing 5,060 mAh. But with a more efficient chip, we might see better battery performance without needing bigger batteries. Fingers crossed. What could really use a bump is the charging speed. Right now, the difference between the Pro and XL models is kind of annoying. Hopefully, Google smooths that out or gives us faster charging across the board. So, what's the takeaway here? If you're looking for a solid phone without going overboard, the regular Pixel 10 could be a fantastic pick, especially if it does end up with that upgraded screen and telephoto lens. The Pro might feel a little less essential this year unless it brings some surprise features to justify the extra cash. And the Pro XL? That's your go big or go home option. Bigger screen, bigger battery, and all the premium perks. Of course, all this is based on early leaks and rumors, and a lot can change between now and launch day. If Google sticks to its usual schedule, we're probably looking at a late summer release, so stay tuned. That's the scoop for now. Got thoughts or predictions of your own? Let's talk about it. Also, don't forget to subscribe for future updates. Catch you in the next one. Take care.